What is going on, everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to do this on your Atem Mini, Atem Mini Pro, and Atem Mini Pro ISO while maintaining all four of your video inputs. Let's get started. So what I'm doing here, let me pull up the computer so I can show you, is I am using my media player to provide the black inside the top and the bottom, the bars at the top and bottom. So I'm going to show you how to get this done. You're going to use your upstream key. So go over here into palettes, upstream key, and your DVE. I've got camera 1 selected that I want to use as my fill source because that's where I want to start with that. And my position needs to be 0 for X and Y. My size needs to be 1. I've got these linked, so as soon as I change one, it changes the other one so that my picture doesn't get skewed. Next thing you're going to do is come down to your mask. You're going to mask off 2.35 from the top and 2.35 from the bottom. Left and right, you want to stay as they are. Shadow, keep that off. Border, keep that off. Now that you've got this set the way you like it, or the way we like it, we are going to set keyframe. So this is the A position of our keyframe. You're going to click that. What that does is it sets it so it looks like this. Now, what I want to do is I want to run it to full size, but I want that to happen instantly, because if I run it slow, you can see here the rate is 7 seconds. So I'm going to erase that and I'm going to make it 0.01 seconds. So it really can't go any faster. And now when I run it to full, it looks like this. I could run to A, run to full, and that's what you get. So that that speed is super quick. Now what I need to do, change this back to 7 seconds, because that's what I decided looks good. You can make it take longer. You can make it take 10 seconds. You could have it do it in 2 seconds. To me, 7 seconds just seems like an appropriate amount of time. I don't think 8 or 9 seconds would be too slow either. If it moves too fast, it's really distracting. And now when I run to A, you can see the black bars coming in. My monitor's over here, so forgive me if I'm looking this way. So the black bars are there. But if I want to switch my camera angles, what's going to change is not the picture in the middle, because that's my upstream key. That stays on when I do things. So if I switch my cameras, like if I go to the computer view, the computer shows up in the black. It doesn't show up where my face is. We want it to show up where my face is. So in order to do that, all I have to do is I can make it happen. Just make the computer show up like this, inside the black. Now for this, it just looks like you're cutting off a bunch of your screen. But if I go to camera 2, you can see my Atem here. And what has to happen is these are your selectors for your program. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're not changing. And I'm actually recording into this Atem right now, and they're not changing until I hit cut. Once I hit cut, well, now the background changes because that's actually my program. So what you do is you've got this little button here, that's your still. You can turn that on. If we go to camera 4, change to camera 4, camera 3, there's nothing coming in camera 4, so that stayed black. Camera 3, camera 2, completes the picture, camera 1, and then I can go back to still, and it will give me the black. So yeah, that's how we do it. Now we're going to create a macro to do that for us automatically, so we don't have to think about it. One thing that's going to happen is you need to have a camera that will always come on when you push this. So even if you're on a different view and you push the macro, it will bring up a specific camera angle. So it's best to be on that angle before you hit the button for the black bars to come in so that it doesn't look really weird. Sound good? All right, here we go to create the macro. I'm going to run this. I'm going to turn off that key, and we're going to show you what happens. So you can see my media player here is on preview, which is literally just a black screen. If I cut, it turns black, and my media player can go to program as well, but when I clicked it, it went black, obviously. So over here, you can select any camera you want to be that camera that it switches to, because this is what's going to show up in the center in between the black bars, whatever is selected right here in fill source. So let's create that macro. Go up here to macros. I've got a bunch of macros here already. We're going to add one. We're going to call it BLK BRS on. Black bars on. And you can put a description here of what actually happens so that it reminds you if you, like if you click on one of these macros, it'll show up down here, whatever your description is, describes what happens. I'm not going to bother with that right now. So we're going to start here. Now it's super important that you go through and select the things you want to happen, even if they've already happened. So I want to go into DVE, make sure that's selected, and then I come in, select camera 1 again. As long as you select inside this box, just push enter. It makes sure that whatever is in there is the right value. So it's really important. You don't have to like actually retype the numbers. You just select that as the right value. Turn mask off. Whatever you do last is like what it picks. So because I toggled that off and on, it's like mask should be on. It's not, if your mask was off, it doesn't toggle it twice. It just makes sure the mask is on. 2.35, that is the proper spacing to have a 19 or a 9:21 aspect ratio. Left and right, we want it to fill it left and right, so we want that to be 0. Shadow, we want that definitely off, just in case we were playing with something. Turn the shadow on, off. Border, we want that off. Now, this is where it gets fun. We want to change this to, actually we don't have to change that yet. We're going to set keyframe A, so that position of the having the black bars at the top and the bottom, that's the position we want it in. And so we now set that in number A. Number A, yeah, position A. Now we go over here, change this to 0.01, and this is the important part because you're running a macro, and we run it to full. So now it fills the screen. It's no longer in that position A. Now we add a pause, and we're going to make it the smallest pause there can be, and we're going to click on air. So now it shows you what's happening. I'm going to show you camera 3 again and finish this, but then the macro won't work properly because you have to do the rest of it with your camera 1 as your DVE source, your stream, your key, upstream key, that's what I'm going for, source, so that it stays like that. Because if I change to camera 3, the macro is going to record that, and it's going to end up being camera 3. But in order to show you, I have to switch back to camera 3. So I'm going to switch back to 3, like this. And then I usually add another pause after I've done that, because I want turning that on to happen after all that other stuff happens, and I want it to happen before all this other stuff happens. So now we'll set this to 7 seconds. That's good. And now the most important part probably is that you set media player to program right here. Bam, that has to happen. Now when you do that for real, you're not going to actually have the black show up. You won't see black bars, you won't see anything, because we've already run that DVE full size, so it's filling the frame. The media player just whoop, comes up behind it. So now the DVE's in front. If we change our camera views, the media player, camera 1, 2, 3, these change back here, but your DVE, your upstream key, sits on top of that. So you would be actually seeing this view you're seeing here right now. So here we go. We've got our rate set. We've got media player set to, and now I can turn on the key, and now I can actually set the media player, and I can run to A, and it's going to bring in the black bars for us. And there they are. Now as soon as they come in and they finish, we want to add a pause for, we'll leave the 0.1 there, and we'll add the pause for 7 seconds, just so the pause lasts slightly longer than the move of those black bars coming in, and that you don't get like almost all the way there and then they glitch to the very end, just in case. We added the pause, and then we, oh, I didn't show you adding the pause, but you add another pause there. And I'll switch back to camera 3. And you're done. So because I switched to camera 3, switched in and out, I'm recording this live. If I recorded these video feeds separately, it would show it very differently. So now I'm going to show you what that macro looks like. We go into our camera view, or the computer view. I've got that right here. It's going to switch to camera 1 first, and then it's going to bring in the black bars, and then it's actually going to switch back to camera 3 because that's the last thing I recorded to show you guys how this worked. So here we go. Switches to camera 1, makes media player the program so that the black bars come in, and there it is. So one thing I didn't actually do that I should have done, no, I did. I made media player. That worked. Now, if you want to hide your black bars, you want them to fade out slowly. You don't actually want them to come out real fast. You don't want to be like, we'll come in slow and then jump back out. So what we're going to do is show you how to get them to fade back out. It's actually pretty easy. So I'm going to turn them on. So they're coming in. Then it's going to fade to, or it's going to just jump to camera 3. And then I have to turn the downstream key back on and make media player the thing. So this is where we're starting. We're going to record another macro. So let's cut back to this view so you can see what's happening. We're going to create, add, so let's select this spot so they're next to each other. I'm going to say BLK bars off. Now we're going to record it, and really what I want to do is, with it in position, run to full, add a pause of 7.1 seconds, and then what I need to do, it's very important, I come up here, I'm going to select camera 4 as my program view. Sorry, camera 4 is my program view, that's preview. And then I'm going to turn off the next transition. So I'm going to do that. Nope. camera 1. You want camera 1 as your program view because that was the one. So, in short, you're going to run full so that your DVE fills the screen. In program, you're going to select the angle that you want, which is the same one in the DVE, camera 1. And then you're going to go up and you're going to turn off your upstream key, which is that button there. Just turn that off. And then stop recording your macro. So to show you what that looks like without recording, say I went in, I actually hit record here to do that. Then I go run to full. So that fills the screen. I select camera 1 as my program. So that way my camera 1 is here in the DVE upstream key and my camera 1 is behind it in the program. Then when I turn off this, my DVE upstream key camera turns off and I'm left with camera 1 in the background. So it's the exact same view. It doesn't matter what's happening here. The exact same thing's happening behind it. And then I can go back to switching my cameras as normal using the buttons down here. Yeah. I'm going to get better at editing videos, and these are going to really rock here after a while. I'm currently switching all of this live, so that's why you can't see certain things and you can see certain things, because I'm also recording it with the Atem Mini Pro. Fun fact, I just got an Atem Mini Pro Extreme here, and I could actually record with that and do everything and then just show you on the Atem Mini Pro what's actually happening. So I hope this was helpful. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to create macros to change your angles without changing the background. You actually get to change the DVE. So that'll be a really short video, but it's coming up next. Thanks for watching.